Boop, 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 boop. Hello there, Jessica. Look who's back. Back again.
Has it been a
Bing
year
is back.
already?
Tell a friend. It's me, Bing Crosby. What did that you said? What's that you say?
So it's been a year already?
Well, I was here in July. Thanks for remembering. It's Christmas once again. You did your little Christmas in July show. Right. And there was Bing, apparently making a big impact on your memory.
Listen, it's 2020. July was 10 years ago. I'm sorry. Of course I remember you showing up for our Christmas in July episode.
Well, that was my unfinished business. Back to the afterlife with me.
That's right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sadie Hawkins Pod.
Why is there like ghost plasma all over the place? What happened? I was in the bathroom getting ready as I always do, getting ready in the bathroom.
Bing showed up again.
I always miss him.
You do always miss him. You know, it's weird. I never see you and Bing in the same room.
Well, it always sucks because whenever these big celebrities come by with their completely normal voices, they're like voices that are absolutely perfect and sound exactly like you always think they sound like. I'm never around.
Now, to be fair, I've never seen Bing Crosby in a room with literally anyone else, so he could just be in my imagination. I could be slowly going crazy, have a tumor eating away in there. I'm not really sure, but...
Oh, well, maybe is that the secret? Is that going to be the big twisteroo at the end of Sadie Hawkins Pod, as you were imagining me the whole time?
Oh, no. Don't say things like that. That totally gets my anxiety. I totally will be like, oh my gosh, what if this person doesn't exist to anyone but me? Kind of like how sometimes I'm like, am I living in the Truman Show? Is that a thing?
Yes, you are. Speaking of which, we want to thank Crest Toothpaste today. I just want to thank Crest Toothpaste.
Oh.
They're the greatest toothpaste in the entire world, and they keep your mouth nice and clean.
I don't know why you're giving away free advertising space.
I'm not talking to the podcast.
Oh.
Anyway, Merry Christmas. As I completely gaslight you.
Speaking of nice, clean
Protoplasm. I couldn't think of the word protoplasm when we started. I just said plasm. But
speaking of nice, clean teeth,
yeah,
I am now taking my Invisalign out for the podcast so that I don't slur or whatever quite as much. So, Merry Christmas,
I'll
everybody.
Still sound like this because I still have my braces in permanently until they get removed.
Oh, family of adult braces. So tonight we're talking about Holy Night. Oh, but top of the show business first.
There's
I know
so
there is so much top of the show
and
business.
I don't expect there to be that much to talk about with the song. But yeah, just to get ahead of it a little bit, we're talking about Oh Holy Night, which is not on the Christmas album. This is one of the iTunes exclusive bonus tracks that then disappeared from iTunes and turned up on the Be Gotee Christmas comp. I don't think that's the name of it.
Right.
But we'll get to that in a minute. This main stuff I wanted to talk about this week, we do have some voicemails. We'll get to those in a second. Oh, a week or two ago, or was it it was either on this show or it was in a Patreon episode where I was saying how Taylor Swift has that one rhythmic melody she always uses in like tons of songs. Uh-huh. It's always da 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 da. She's always doing that. That's the one. I couldn't think of it because we were talking about.
Sure.
We were talking about "Be My Escape" or whatever it was. Have we done that song yet?
No.
I know we haven't.
You said we have to save it.
Right. So when we were talking about bands and artists that reuse certain
we have to save it for when we're better at this.
I know. That day will never come. So it's Taylor Swift constantly use. I mean, the one everyone knows is the "Say That You Remember Something Something Me in a Red Dress, Rosy Cheeks, whatever." But she's used that
Wildest Dreams.
Yeah, she's used that exact same rhythm in so many other songs. It's always da 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 da. So many freaking songs.
That's just a pop thing. It's just a pop thing.
I think
it's in Katy Perry songs. It's in.
I think it's been overdone. I think she can lay back from doing the da 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 da.
Well, you know what? She's still selling albums and you aren't, so maybe there's something behind da 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 da.
Maybe I should do all the podcasts from now on. I should talk like this for the whole podcast.
Oh, wow.
And then we'll be a major hit.
Sure. We'll be number 458 in Canada.
Nice. So the other thing is, like, and now it feels like dead news by the time we're actually sitting here recording it, but it was such big doings this week, was the Relient K is Mormon controversy, which was a very, I'm sure in the scheme of things, it will be a very small footnote of a footnote in Relient K internet doings. But some TikToker, the week before we recorded this, like just decided that they were Mormon because I don't want to put her name out there because I don't know,
right.
Whatever. But she's a lady on TikTok who dresses like Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim.
Sure.
She does cosplay of that. And she does whatever you do with TikTok. And one of the things, I guess, is she gives out, she like dances to pop punk songs and then like gives, I'm doing scare quotes, pop punk facts. And she did a Relient K one and it said, this is Relient K. You think they're evangelical or whatever, but they're actually Mormon. Follow for more pop punk facts. And we're like, what?
They're neither of those things.
Right. Yeah. Like, and then also when this whole thing was going down, John Warren's wife like popped in on Twitter and was like, evangelical in which sense? Because like that word has multiple meanings. Yeah. Yeah. Because like any religion is evangelical if they're like evangelizing, but there's a certain sect of Protestant Christianity called evangelical. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. It was so weird because I just saw a random person on Twitter last week after we recorded the show say, I just learned that Relient K is Mormon, and I thought it was just this one person being weird.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I think you're thinking of the Aquabats or something? Because they were Mormon, right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that?
Yeah. And the lead singer and his brother, and they, they were Mormon.
Oh.
Not as a band. They weren't like the way a Christian band is all Christians and they work in the Christian industry. The lead singer, Christian Jacobs of Aquabats, was Mormon, and some of the people in their early band were Mormon, and they never played on Sundays or Saturdays because of their Mormon, like Chick-fil-A or something. Like they,
sure,
whatever the Sabbath is for Mormons, I guess it must be Sunday. Anyway,
did they also not serve the gays chicken? Is that another thing that the Aquabats did?
No, they serve everyone chicken because they had that song, Magic Chicken. It's like everyone can. It's a magic chicken. Everyone can have it. Doesn't matter if you're gay. I'm pretty sure those are the lyrics.
Okay.
To Aquabat song. And then I saw in the Relient K Discord that people had like specifically found this TikTok girl who was spreading this lie, and then like I had a TikTok, like I signed up for it just for our Grace Baldridge interview, and the first thing I've really done with it is I went onto the comments of this lady who was lying about Relient K. And I was like, what are you talking about? This isn't true. And some people were in there. And in the scheme of things, like, it doesn't really hurt if, like, one rando is wrong and gets mixed up and thought they were Mormon. What it came down to, I think, in her comment section, people were like, I can't find any proof of this. What are you talking about? And her comments would be like coy little, this is what I heard. What? And then she finally gave more specifics and it said like, a friend in the industry told her that they were actually Mormon, but pretending to be, I mean, she didn't put it this way, I'm putting it this way, Protestant Christians, so that it could be in the Christian record industry. Completely not true. Someone else pointed out on Twitter, their roots are Quaker. Like their denomination, because of being in Ohio, is like Quaker, and not like the strict Quaker of like Quaker Oats or whatever. Not like they actually wear old timey clothes and like can't use certain technologies, but like
not like Post, like the cereal guys or anything. Yeah.
So whoever this friend in the industry was of this TikToker probably heard they were Quaker and thought like, oh, that's like Mormon or something, right? And
it is not.
It's not. It's not the same at all. Oh, our FedEx is here.
Oh no, is that Bing again? Tell him to go away.
So there's that. So just be aware. Relient K is not Mormon, despite what you heard. they're not. They were never Mormon, pretending to be. John Schneck commented on one of my tweets about it and was like, "So glad to finally be part of this fake news that I always hear about." And the last thing is like, the last time I checked into it. Oh,
I love how you're like, if you've heard about this or whatever. Like, I only heard about this through Danny.
But people, because this is the thing, is like, a lie like this, like a kind of a made-up, mistaken fact,
right?
Who cares, really, in the scheme of things? But when you have a band like Relient K, which is not active, so their fan base that is actively online is like aching for new information, and then they see some random people going like, "Oh, it turns out they're Mormon this whole time," and then like the fans who are really deep into it are like, "No, that's not true." It's like big shakens, and if this was like about Blink-182 or Green Day, or even like a band that might not be active right now, but is bigger, was like huge, this wouldn't really matter in the scheme of things. But when you're starving for information about a band,
it could end up on Wikipedia, it could end up somewhere.
So, and it's just like in 4 years of completely like just misinformation and just like acting like what I say is true, when certain powers that be just say something is true, when like the leader of the free world retweets a Babylon Bee story like it's real news. Idiot. It's like these just little made up facts just presented as absolute truth. It gets under the skin. Sure. And it's the whole like you can't change what you can't change, but control what you can control.
You are so fired up about this.
I'm getting a little fired up now, but she turned off her comments. And she blocked MXPX memes TikTok.
Oh, Danny, what did you do?
I wasn't mean. I didn't take it personal. I didn't attack them I didn't attack her as a person. I saw her pronoun as her, so I'm saying that correctly. I didn't attack her as a person or say you're an idiot or anything, but I was saying things like, you're just presenting wholesale cloth fake information as absolute given. Just because you heard from one person. Like you're in some sort of special like you're some sort of like reporter and you've got the scoop, and this is just completely made up. And she only had like a couple thousand, like 2,000, 3,000 followers, but this one video had 15,000 views because I think it was getting a bunch of attention. It's probably tagged Relient K, and people watch all the. So it's getting out there. There were people carrying it over to Twitter. People were talking about the Discord. It seems like it's over now, but if you hear about it, it's nonsense. Yeah,
right on.
And now free MXPX memes on TikTok. Make sure she unblocks me. Just kidding.
All right.
And with that...
Moving on with that 12-minute top of the show business.
Whatever. The other week you were like, this was the longest opening we've ever had. It was 60 seconds. Last week you were like, the longest opening ever.
Listen, the bits should not be more than 15 seconds. I don't make the rules.
Well, we do have voicemails. We have a lot of voicemails, and I am counting on these to fill out the show, because what do we have to say about Oh Holy Night?
Oh my gosh, look at this. I have notes. I have notes. I have deep dive. We are going to talk about the song history of Oh Holy Night.
Okay, well, let's listen to Connor first. So maybe he's going to preemptively take every point you're going to take.
Hey, Danny and Jess. This is Connor Dudley, calling in. I literally paused the episode and called in after you said call in about Jesus being in VeggieTales. I've seen literally every one of these things, at least up until, like, I don't know, 2008, maybe. So unless they have done Jesus, like, some sort of Christmas stuff, but they've never had, like, an actual representation of Jesus, as far as I'm aware, or if they did, it was just, like, a baby crying or something. I have never seen a vegetable Jesus. It seems just kind of like the thing that they've never really touched. And in fact, if I'm remembering right, I think they had, when they have had like a depiction of Jesus, I think he was human. You know what? I might have to do some more research. Because they did an Easter carol at one point, and I think they talked about it, but I think I literally remember seeing human hands like on a cross for that. I might have to look into that. But I've never seen a vegetable of Jesus. If I were to make Jesus a vegetable, I think he would be, I don't know, asparagus? I don't know. That seems reasonable. I don't know. I'll call back after I look up the Easter Carol, and I'll see if they have any sort of Jesus in that. Okay, bye.
I guess A for asparagus. Like, Jesus is A number one.
He should either be, like, whatever the most popular vegetable is, like the most beloved vegetable,
right.
Or he should be, like, whatever vegetable kids really don't want to eat so that then they want it because it's good, because Jesus is good.
Rutabaga?
I don't know. I was thinking, like, Brussels sprout or something, although you and I do love Brussels sprouts, so...
Yeah.
I loved them as a kid, too.
I love Brussels sprouts, and I love kale.
Yeah.
But I don't like carrots, and I like asparagus.
Leeks aren't
I don't like leeks. Oh, I hate fennel.
Yeah.
Fennel is like...
Anything in that general category. You don't do celery either.
Fennel is like if onions were some sort of funny metaphor that I can't think of. So Connor calls back, and it says, "Hey," he must be saying, "Hey guys, Connor again," but Google Voice says, "Hey guys, Daddy again." So let's hear from Daddy.
Hey guys, Connor Dudley again. So I looked up an Easter Carol and listened a little further into the show. So the thing that, Jeff, you found of, like, all, like, the pea and the manger and, like, all the different people, like, in the nativity scene or whatever, I'm pretty sure that's a shot from the Christmas pageant in The Star of Christmas. And then, so I think it's just, like, a kid, like, an actual baby in, like, the little town that they're in, representing Jesus in that instance.
Confirmed. I figured that out.
Okay.
It was a Christmas pageant. It was an
Wow,
no, you didn't get that.
That is Inception right there. That is, so they're like doing a thing in the thing. I get it.
Yeah. It was a play within the universe of them, the pea playing baby Jesus.
Right, I get it.
So, in Easter Carol, there is a little angel that looks humanoid flying around with Mr. Nezer.
Right. I do remember they have had non-vegetable characters on the show. Because at first when Connor said human hands on the cross or something, I was like, that sounds a little weird. But I just thought of it, and there is like a bug character in the first VeggieTales movie. Oh. So there is precedent to having non-vegetable or fruit-based character on the show.
Right on.
Who wants to... It's a Christmas Carol, but about Easter. Mr. Nezer wants to sell a bunch of Easter eggs and build Easterland to help keep his grandmother's memory alive or whatever. And so this little humanoid angel at one point sings, voiced by Rebecca St. James, sings a big song about Jesus. And in that, they are in a church, and she's going to different stained glass windows in the church where a humanoid, well, not humanoid, it's Jesus. Human Jesus is represented on all of these stained glass windows. So any, like, actual representation of Jesus, like, that's supposed to specifically be Jesus and not, like, a kid in a Christmas pageant playing Jesus, has been human, as far as I can see, unless something has changed in, like, the last 10 to 12 years or something. I don't know. This probably isn't that important to you, but you asked, so I answered.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah. Jesus is only he's not, there's no canonical, well, it's canonical, but, you know, there's no, like, this is no, like, period piece presenting the character of Christ.
I got it.
It's always artwork within the universe, whether it's a play or stained glass windows. I get it. I don't know what he calls back for 14 seconds right after all that. Let's see what this is about.
Hey, guess I didn't listen long enough. You figured out where it was from, and I haven't actually seen that one. So I'm just going to keep blowing up your voice now. Okay. I'm also going to just listen longer next time before I call 3 times. Okay, bye.
I don't mind you. I don't mind. We're getting to the bottom of it. You're supporting our investigation from last week about whether or not Jesus has ever been depicted in VeggieTales.
I just want to say, Connor Daddy has got a great voice, and he should be a character on VeggieTales.
His name should be Connor Daddy.
Exactly.
Well, now we have 2 more voicemails, and now we get the David double feature, because first we have David Park.
Hey guys, it's David from Jimmy Eat Pod. Rock tumbler talk. Literally just last night, I went to pick up a rock tumbler that we bought our 5-year-old for Christmas, and got home. The box was empty. Somebody wanted a rock tumbler so much that they bought it, emptied the box, returned the empty box, and I ended up with it. So not only did I go to Target once to pick up a rock tumbler, I went back with an empty box and had to go upstairs to where the toys were to find that the shelf was empty. All the rock tumblers were gone. So I guess, yeah, kids are still into rock tumblers. Rock tumblers.
Kids aren't into rock music. They're into that that electronic music nowadays. And
but rock tumblers, still a hot ticket item.
I didn't know why
they
wouldn't be. It's just science. Like, kids still like dinosaurs and kids still like rocket ships.
Yes, I just don't spend a lot of time in the kids' toy section. So yeah, that makes sense. Also, you've got, kids at home because they can't be in school in a lot of places right now. So parents are like, oh my gosh, what can we get that is educational? Rock tumbler.
Yeah, just go sit in the basement and tumble your rocks and shut up. I gotta work from home. Tumble these rocks and just shut up. So then we have a voicemail from David Ketch.
Hi, Danny and Jess. This is your old pal, intern. Just wanted to call because I haven't talked to you guys in a while, or left a message in a while. I actually checked my phone log, and it's been more than 2 months. So I just wanted to call, say hi. Also wanted to talk about the Softer to Me episode because Jess mentioned it last episode. There's a couple of things that I wanted to mention about that episode. So there's a voicemail that somebody butt dialed on that episode from Nebraska. And then Jess mentioned her friend Laura, but her friend Laura never called back. So, I guess we'll never know where she's from, because Jess thought she was from Nebraska, but she never called. So I guess we'll never know. And then the real reason I wanted to call about the Softer to Me episode was because Jess mentioned the deep dive for the song meanings and the discussion they were having about that song on Softer to Me. You could find that actually at the timestamp of 33:50, so 33 minutes and 50 seconds in.
Okay.
I love this. This is what we have an intern for.
Last week when we read song meanings.
He's on it.
We read, or was it song meanings we read recently, and someone in the song meanings of a song we just did this month said, go to the Softer Me song meanings because we're having a big discussion there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Danny mentions that some username, some Blink-182 fan or something like that, mentions that he Christian music sucks, or he wishes Relient K wasn't Christian or something like that. And then the whole discussion was just like a huge explosion about that. So yeah, there you go. There you have it. Hello and goodbye for now.
Yes, I remember that now. I do remember that. It became just a whole long discussion, which I think people have had since the beginning of time, about why is this band got to be Christian? And that's all the Softer to Me song discussion.
Oh, okay.
I remember all that now, but we didn't remember that last week.
Yeah.
Yes, so thank you to our intern for reminding us. And the thing about Laura being from Nebraska, because our phone number, 402-95-SADIE, is a Nebraska number.
Yeah.
So it just got it on Google Voice, and it's just the only number I could find that spelled out Sadie. And so I guess we got a random call from the same area code.
Sure. And I just looked it up, and Laura actually has a San Francisco phone number. She does not have a Nebraska area code anymore, even though now she lives in Portland.
And our friend Laura was basically the David Ketch of our old podcast.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about once or twice, and we're going to talk about in a specific episode in the future.
Yes.
But we had a podcast about a Sci-Fi Channel show that you can't find anymore. We took the whole archive down. And she was basically our biggest fan, most interactive fan from that time. And she listened to the first couple episodes of this show and was like, she doesn't like Relient K, so it didn't, but we're still actually friends with her.
Yes.
So, anyway, and that leads us into Oh Holy Night.
See, if we were talking about Taylor Swift and like folklore or Evermore, she would pop in, but Relient K.
Just lie to her and tell her we've been talking about so much Taylor Swift this month. Listen to every episode. So, Oh Holy Night. I feel like you got the big takes on this song, because for me, it's
I don't even have that many big takes. Here's the thing. I did all my research on Silent Night / Away in a Manger this week.
We were supposed to record yesterday, and Jessica texted me because I was at my physical office for work, and she's like, I finished my Silent Night Away in the Manger research, and I'm like, that's not the song we're doing.
Nope. So by the time I realized that I had to redo all my research, I have a lot of notes that are just like, ugh, I don't want to be doing this kind of things. So, like, I have a note here that just says full disclosure, because I had already done my research on the completely wrong track prior to this. My ADHD was kicking in hardcore at this point, and I went off and listened to like 3 songs off Home for Christmas by NSYNC and played more Cyberpunk 2077 in between looking up this song.
Well, as I was saying, this song is not on the Christmas album. It is found on the compilation 'Tis the Season to Be Gotee. And when we did our Christmas in Summer episode this year, we did another song that's not found on the Christmas album, but is found on this Gotee Christmas comp.
'Tis this the season to have a goatee, though?
Well, that's the thing, is we talked about it in the summer, but
Santa
Claus
does
on the
have a
cover is
goatee.
shaving himself a goatee while he's eating milk and cookies. And the same thing we kind of hinted at in our Christmas in Summer episode is I said, we were like, this is gross. He shouldn't be shaving over a glass of milk.
Right.
So on December 8th, Gotee Records' official Twitter account tweeted, like, don't forget to listen to the 'Tis the Season to Be Gotee comp. It's got, unreleased songs by Relient K and Ryan's Music and John Reddick and Toby Mac and more, is what it says. And then I replied and said, I'm always so afraid Santa is going to get white facial hair in his milk and not notice until it's too late. And then I put like a scared face emoji.
Nice. When I first put the song on, I forgot I was listening to Relient K, because this is such an un-Relient K rendition of any song.
Right.
Yeah, the vocals are like super weirdly deep. I don't really vibe on this track. That like somber low 90s rock guy vocal thing doesn't really do it for me.
This is just the Relient K take on the same kind of production ideals as Folklore. So you should love it. It's all slow and like Midwest emo-esque. It's very early Deep Elm Records.
Something about this feels like a sincere version of a Loungelier song. By the way, I've mentioned the Loungeliers a few times on this show, and not as well known as I thought they were. They have 120 monthly listeners on Spotify, and their most listened to is 10,000, and then it drops down to 2,000, and then 1,000, and then less than 1,000 listens for every subsequent song thereafter.
What's the song that gets 10,000 listens? We're racing each other to the song. I'm going to get it first. Come on.
Riders on the Storm.
No!
Because I go to their page, so I'm one of those 120
you're there in your
listeners.
recents. I had to type
no! They've dropped down to 115 monthly listeners.
December hasn't been good to them. Yeah, this song is good.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Flagpole Sitta.
Okay.
Which is their third for some reason, it's their third most popular song. But Riders on the Storm is their first most popular song with 2,867 listens.
Gotcha. Well, I like this song pretty good. It is not like a Relient K song. It's a completely different take than, I don't know if there's any other Relient K song that has this kind of idea in terms of how they what they decide to record, especially because there's no specific covers of this and not even any like fan videos. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to look at on YouTube is other bands covering this song.
Oh, awesome. Are we doing the NSYNC one? Because NSYNC has an a cappella version of this song.
Thanks a lot. That was supposed to be your Christmas present at the end of the episode. You peaked. You peaked. That was the whole plan. I had a whole plan.
I did not peak.
You peaked. You peaked.
I did not peak. I just said a minute ago that I went off to listen to the NSYNC Christmas album while doing my research.
I kind of zoned it out and hoped you forgot that you even said that. But
it's the only a cappella version of anything that I'm okay with, because it's not very a cappella-y. It's like digitally.
Right. But I have this whole plan where you were going to listen to all of these versions and from bands you don't care about. And then at the end I was going to be like, well, I got one for you that you might like. And I was going to play in sync. But you don't even like their version. So.
No, I said I did. I do like their version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now who's not listening to who? Me. I'm not listening to you. I never listen to you.
I was going to say.
My New Year's resolution, listen to Jessica more.
Oh, don't make resolutions you can't keep, Danny.
That was good. That was like, that whole exchange was like a Kathy cartoon.
You hate Kathy cartoons.
I know. I hate their stupid, like, he can only draw them face forward. Like the guy who created Kathy, I think it's a guy, is it a girl? I don't even know whoever created the Kathy cartoons with the ack and all that stuff. And it's like South Park, before South Park. Like, they can't be in profile, but even South Park characters can stand in profile. Like, they can only stand forward facing the camera, and they're like always these stiff bodies. It's just so ugly drawn. And then the jokes are always like, I shouldn't eat this cheesecake. I shouldn't eat this cheesecake. I ate the cheesecake. And then people think that's hilarious. And they clip it out of the paper and they put it on the fridge at the workplace.
Do you have anything else to say about this, or would you like to hear the history of Oh Holy Night?
I guess the last thing I'll just ask, like, do you like, I feel like this is definitely a subgenre of Christmas music. You know what I mean? Like the real slow, like maybe like a tremolo on the guitar, almost like a 60s real laid back kind of like slow rock and roll thing. Like, what's that Nancy Sinatra song that opens Kill Bill? Bang, bang, my baby shot me down, or whatever. Like that real low, like little bit of thing on the guitar, and just like singing real slow and just kind of like plucking the guitars with like a whole breath in between every note. Like, that's a whole genre. That's a whole, like I said, that's a subgenre of Christmas music. Do you think? I can't think of any other songs in that subgenre, but do you ever like that kind of Christmas music where it's like a rock guitar but real slow and real wistful?
Not particularly.
Yeah.
I think
I might like that, even though I don't like Christmas music, because of, you know what I mean? Because of like the feeling of dark nostalgia. It gives me the kind of cold nostalgia that I get from classical Christmas music. That kind of music I'm describing now is meant to sound a little cold and distant and wistful, but I don't associate it with Christmas music, even if they're singing the lyrics of a Christmas song. So I think there's a disassociation from the like blustery, cold winter day trying to find a place to stay in the manger, and there's no room at the inn. I
do kind of like "O Holy Night" in like when like it comes up in movies and stuff, like sung in like a traditional sense in like a church scene or something. I think it's pretty. It's a pretty song.
It's in Home Alone.
It is in Home Alone. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. And I was thinking I thought it was in The Simpsons in the episode with Gary Coleman. Is that his name? Gary Coleman? Do you remember the Simpsons episode where the Funzo episode? And then it turns out all the Funzos are actually like, it's a very pre-Alexa story, because the Simpsons always tell the future. But like they like copy all of your like data as you're there, like before.
It was during the Furby craze. Right.
It was a Furby with an Alexa built in before Alexa or even anything like an Alexa even exists, before even Siri's first generation.
Yeah.
And then they had to go around town and steal all the Funzos. Anyway, as they're going around town, Homer's stealing the Funzos, and Bart and Lisa are singing Christmas carols to distract the people in the houses. And I was like, oh, I'll pull that clip. It turned out they sing Holy Night, gonna know. What's that song? All is bright.
Silent Night.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one you did, Silent Night Away in the Manger? Yeah, the other one you mixed up. So I mixed those songs up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened? It was like, I actually was like, okay, we're doing a Holy Night. Got to do a Holy Night. I didn't think about the Gotee Christmas comp. So when I went to to Spotify, I was like, I go to the Christmas album, and I'm like, oh, he must have meant Silent Night, Away in a Manger. Both have night in the title.
Right.
And so that's what I did my research on.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, that's not what we're doing. And I'm like, ugh.
I could have just pivoted and...
We could have just done Silent Night,
I
Away in
did
a
all
Manger.
my research on Holy Night, and you did all your research on Silent Night. So one of us had to compromise.
Merry Christmas, baby. That's your Christmas gift.
And next week we're doing Santa Claus's Thumb into Town, and we could switch again and do Silent Night, Away in a Manger.
No, I want to do Santa Claus's Thumb into Town.
Yeah, I do too, because there's a ton of fan videos for that.
The song is rockin'. So, Oh Holy Night, also known as, Cantique de Noël. I apologize. This is a well-known Christmas carol composed by Adolphe Adam in 1847 to the French poem Midnight Christians. I'm just going to skip the French in there.
And the fact that his first name is Adolphe.
Well, lots of people have Adolphe for a first name, Danny.
I know.
By poet Palissade Capot.
Okay.
1808 to 1877. The carol reflects on the birth of Jesus as humanity's redemption. Does it? I'm just kidding. Meter. What is this? What does meter mean on Wikipedia?
I don't know. It says 11.10.11. I guess it's a musical time. I mean, it's like a time thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so history. Oh, there's so much Frenchy stuff that I can't pronounce. In Rockmer, at the end of 1843, the church organ had recently been renovated. To celebrate the event, the parish priest persuaded poet Palissade Capot, a native of the town, to write a Christmas poem. Soon afterwards, that same year, Adolphe Adam composed the music. The song was premiered in Rockmar in 1847 by the opera singer Emily Lowry.
How'd it do on the iTunes chart that year?
It's pretty high. Unitarian minister John Sullivan Dwight, editor of Dwight's Journal of Music, wrote the English version in 1855. This version became popular in the United States, especially in the North, where the third verse resonated with abolitionists, including Dwight himself.
What about Jim? I saw this slow, like, what? Oh. On her face.
Midnight Christians. That sounds like a dark story. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, nice. There's also an American Magazine history article, but I feel like we get it. We get the general sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take our break now and then go into the deep dive.
If you enjoy Sadie Hawkins Pod, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And you can interact with the show. Call our voicemail line, 402-95-SADIE, and we'll play it on a future show.
You can send an email to sadiehawkinspod@gmail.com and visit our Instagram and Twitter, which are both at Sadie Hawkins Pod.
We also have merch up at our TeePublic store, where you can get a shirt, a mug, stickers, and more.
Just in time for Halloween, or for after Halloween, depending on when you're listening to this, is our little Sheep Boy shirt design, based on the cover of the original Creepy EP. We also want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/SadieHawkinspod. Brady, David, Tucker, This Might Be a Podcast, Owen, Jimmy Eat Pod, Roxanne, Samantha, Helen, Michael, and Connor. You can sign up to our Patreon for bonus episodes and exclusive merch.
And if you have a special someone in your life, think of giving them the gift of Sadie Hawkins Pod.
I have here an article from Music World. This was posted September 18th, 2011 by Music. Right on. Relient K and House of Heroes Christmas songs coming November 18th. Relient K and House of Heroes bring their musical festive tidings to this year's Christmas season on November 18th via digital music stores with 3 brand new holiday songs and an animated music video from Relient K, as well as label mates House of Heroes, offering up their rendition of the classic Silent Night. The 3 songs from Relient K will include God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, O Holy Night, and Silver Bells, with an animated music video for the song Sleigh Ride coming as well. The Christmas anthems will be added to the platinum-selling band's 2007 album Let It Snow Baby, Let It Reindeer. Upon purchasing online, the customer will be given a unique code and directions to download the additional 3 tunes. Fans can also anticipate extra gifts from Relient K upon purchase, including exclusive photos, downloadable wallpaper, and a few other bonuses. Oh man, I want that wallpaper now.
Yeah, does anyone have that?
I think this might be where the pictures, those like Christmassy pictures come from.
Oh, okay.
You know, the ones that now, I think there's one on the inside of the fold out for the Let It Snow Baby, Let It Reindeer.
It was the whole photo shoot for the
I
second Christmas.
So.
Because John Schneck confirmed it. They went to do the photo shoot for the inside of Let It Snow Baby Reindeer, Let It Reindeer. They just went to like a Kmart. Like they went to the mall. They went to the mall, and then they went and got Christmas clothes at stores. Then they went to like a Kmart or a Sears. Went up to the photo studio, paid them just regular amount to like shoot some Christmas photos like a family, and then they returned all of those clothes to the same stores in the mall where they bought them. And then the credited
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then the credited photographer on that CD is like the person who just worked at Sears.
It's amazing.
And
Can you imagine Relient K just pops in?
Yeah. And there are a couple of photos online that you don't find in the CD, so maybe those are where those outtakes come from.
I'm sorry, maybe it isn't those. Maybe those aren't the exclusive photos because it says downloadable wrapping paper. I apologize, not wallpaper. Downloadable wrapping paper. How does that is a horrible idea.
Because you'd have to print a bunch of like 11, but whatever. What's the the dimensions of a piece of paper? 11 by 8, like a bunch of 11 by 8 pieces of paper, and then like tape them all to a television, like reams and reams of paper.
House of Heroes brings their powerhouse pop sound to Silent Night, which is also available at... Danny, why did you not... Oh, I guess because this is 2011, so that's why you didn't propose with the ring wrapped in Relient K downloadable wrapping. House of Heroes brings their powerhouse pop sound to Silent Night, which is also available at all online music outlets. Online music outlets. What a weird way to state that.
I guess there was a time when you had to specify.
On November 18th, the band whose most recent album, The End Is Not the End, was delivered via digital stores, has seen an incredible response with the release, making it to the number 6 spot on the iTunes Rock Chart and number 42 on the overall chart, with a number 1 radio hit single and over 1 million plays on their MySpace page. Relient K, who has toured with the likes of Switchfoot and Good Charlotte, has a Grammy nod and 3 RIAA certified gold albums to their credit. The pop-punk band has also performed on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and Late Night with Conan O'Brien, with their video for Must Have Done Something Right receiving airplay on MTV Hits, Fuse.
Yeah, I think we read this article last year, maybe, because or at least they're repeating a fact. I feel like that fact seems familiar from last year.
Fuse's Steven's Untitled Rock Show, Nickelodeon's The N, IMF, and Music Choice. So not actual MTV or
right
MTV MTV Hits. That's why they were in the tree lighting prize review. Sorry. Oh. Relient K is composed of lead singer / guitarist / pianist Matt Thiessen, lead guitarist Matt
Hold on.
drummer Ethan Luck, bassist John Warren, and guitarist John Schneck. And then we're just going to go on to talk about House of Heroes again, and they've toured with they've opened for the likes of Filter, I don't know who that is, Silverchair, not sure who that is.
You don't know what Silverchair
K
is?
And MXPX.
We talked about Silverchair. John Schneck talked about Silverchair. He talked about how they did a Silverchair cover when they played in Australia.
Oh,
because
that's
that
right.
band's they're like the Australian Nirvana. And they, that's what I'm saying that they're like. And they played Tomorrow in Australia and nobody really got it.
Right. Sorry, I'm just like looking through their other articles on Relient K now.
One thing I meant to bring up before is that I realized that like of the sort of two classic era drummers, everyone they all got of all the three classic lineups, everyone did some Christmas songs.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
nice.
But of the three well-known drummers of the band, Steven never was in a Christmas song.
Right.
Because in Deck the Halls, you've got Brian and Dave. You got that lineup did some Christmas songs. Then you have the Johns and Dave do the extra Christmas songs to fill out the Let It Snow Baby Let It Reindeer. And then when Ethan joins the band, they do 3 more Christmas songs. So those 3 classic lineups of Relient K all have at least 3 Christmas songs. So that is nice. Poor Steven. Steven should come back just to do 1 Christmas song just to finish that. Just like how I've worked at Target in every state that begins with the word new, except New Mexico. So part of me wants to move to New Mexico and apply at Target just to finish that. It's right there. It's a carrot that's dangling right in front of me.
I have a blog post from She Is Beloved. Music review. 'Tis the Season to Be Gotee by Gotee Records. And this was published December 16th, 2010. Okay, so if that's when that came out, then there would have been the downloadable wrapping paper by the time we got engaged, right?
I guess.
When did this come out?
When did this 'Tis the Season record come out? You keep reading and I'll figure it
No.
out.
I meant like when were these tracks released as exclusives? Was it 2010? Because if so, then it was too late.
I thought they were released in 2010 or 2011.
'Tis the Season to Be Gotee is an excellent mix of Christmas songs from beloved Gotee artists like Relient K, House of Heroes, Stephanie Smith, and the rest of the Gotee gang. Having been a longtime favorite of mine, I could probably enjoy listening to Relient K sing the alphabet, but their renditions of Silver Bells and God Rest You Merry Gentlemen are simply stunning in its delivery, while Oh Holy Night is a bit underwhelming. Also, notably, is Stephanie Smith's delivery of Relient K's I Celebrate the Day, which the artist has made distinctly her own. Her version of Jingle Bell Rock is another happy addition to this compilation. I do love Jingle Bell Rock. I'll have to go check out that version. House of Heroes performs All I Want for Christmas Is You, which I like much better than Mariah Carey's version, as well as
Controversial statement.
Oh Come, Emmanuel. The band does a satisfactory job on the difficult carol carefully vocals without getting too loud or too soft. While I don't care for Aisha Woods, I'm sure that others will love her soulful interpretations of Merry Christmas Baby and Jingle Bells. 'Tis the Season to Be Gotee is a good offering of what Gotee has to offer, but it's really Relient K, House of Heroes, and Stephanie Smith that make this record shine brightly. Amazon.com is offering 'Tis the Season to Be Gotee as a $5 download for the month of December. So get on that.
Yes. And so so I figured it out, and I feel like we talked about this last time we did one of these 3 songs.
Probably.
But including them as iTunes bonus tracks happened in 2008.
Okay.
And then in 2010, they were included on the Gotee comp. And
we did Silver Bells.
That's right. We did Silver Bells, and I don't think it was the Silver Bells episode. I think it was one of our regular Christmas episodes last year. We weren't even talking about one of these 3 songs with Ethan on it. We were talking about some other song, and you found an article talking about how with an interview with Matt Thiessen, saying, "Oh, we're recording 3 extra songs with Ethan, and they're going to be iTunes exclusives." And then Matt Thiessen says, maybe we'll keep recording a couple of Christmas songs every year.
That's right.
And just keep expanding Let It Snow Baby, Let It Reindeer. But then they never did that. Yeah. I wonder, we got to find that article again. But that would have been a fun idea. And then so I feel like most likely they recorded these 3 extra songs with Ethan. They had them as iTunes exclusives in 2008 when iTunes was still a major part of like your sales and your notoriety. You wanted those numbers up and everything, right? And then 2 years later, by 2010, iTunes is still important, but maybe not as important. And they probably have these 3 songs that most people haven't heard. because it just was there to get a couple of extra people to buy an iTunes version of the full album. So Gotee's like, well, these songs are kind of getting lost in the weeds, so let's put them on this compilation so they have another home, which is the only reason they're on Spotify today, is because they're not found as bonus tracks on the Christmas album, they're found on the comp.
So now we have from The Antidote, antidoteradio.com, a review of a concert where they played this song. Relient K, Run River North, Cardboard Kids at Waiting Room Buffalo. This is by Dave on December 3rd, 2015. A cool fall day was perfect for heading to Buffalo for a show, even though it meant I would have to miss the Grey Cup game. I was also greeted by a very long lineup. The show was sold out, so the long wait outside the doors was no surprise. The early arrivals at this capacity event had already grabbed their spot on the floor. No way to squeeze through the crowd to grab any band photos. I had to settle for a spot at the rear of the venue, allowing only rare glimpses of the artist. But alas, this is one of the curses of being height impaired. Cardboard Kids opened the show. I was expecting to see the patrons bouncing off the walls with the band's energetic rock music, but the crowd was laid back and simply enjoying the tunes. Considering Cardboard Kids are relatively new, they did have a large number of people singing along with the band. I'd only checked into the music of Run River North just hours before heading out for the show, previously known as Monsters Call Home. That's a badass name. The 6-member band are Korean-American, whose original music reflected influences their parents' cultural background. That was a mouthful. And also, I'm not sure grammatically correct. Though labeled as indie/folk rock, Run River North heads more into the rock/post-rock realm during their live set. Their music really grabbed at me with its depth of sound. This was my
Relient K, Relient K, Relient K. I'm pretending I'm at the concert. I feel like I'm there listening to this review.
This was my first chance to see the headliner, Relient K, in action, which is surprising considering the number of artists I see each year. Admittedly, I had low expectations as I waited for the band to appear on stage. That may sound harsh, but I had considered the days of Relient K to be over. I was wrong. It was a really entertaining set. This gotta be like 2015.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting how Matt Thiessen's
That happened last week, too. You keep reading these articles that I expect to be like 2010, 2011, and 2015.
It's interesting. I'll have to look at the date. I don't know if this is before or after the tree lighting. It's interesting how Matt Thiessen's voice has remained the same. The only change to his boyish looks is the hair, being even more unruly than during the early days of the band. Cover songs from over the past...
It must be crazy now during COVID.
Yeah, decade and a half, including Obvious Crowd and my personal favorites, High of 75 and Be My Escape. The band also included a couple of newer songs, include the very new Marigold. Before the show, did everybody act like dicks at this one too when they busted that one?
Marigold!
Before the new song, Thiessen said from the stage, "Don't you hate when a band plays a new song? You don't know the words and can't sing along." I think the crowd agreed as they gave a very limited reaction to the song. Again, this is why they must not have played it live, because they were like, listen, we really tried with this one. And audiences did not react. It's a great song, but it must be that just before people knew it and like the rest of the vibe of the album, they just were like...
Right.
I don't know. Well, also, you're coming off of Collapsible Lungs, so if you've got newer fans from that one, older fans, maybe they're not looking for that sound.
To be fair, the drunk Ohio crowd we saw in that one video did give a big reaction. It was just very
wrong one.
Yeah, it was just very slurred and dizzy.
The crowd was one of the most diverse I've ever seen. The gray-haired set mingling with the teens and 20-somethings, young kids, and everything in between were all there. I was amused to see two jocks, you know the type, 6.5 feet tall, muscles stacked on muscles, doing the guy hug thing.
You don't know anything about them. Thank you very much. You just looked at what they look like and decided to judge them. You know what that's called? Not nice.
Singing along loudly as tears trickled down their cheeks. I wasn't expecting that. Thiessen gave a lot of stage banter. He told the audience how he was born in the Fort Erie Hospital on the Canadian side of the Niagara River, just a few-minute drive from the venue. He berated the crowd for not paying attention to the Grey Cup game. He also made known that his father was also in attendance, making this the equivalent of a hometown show.
Did he come up and sing the prologue to Sahara?
Relient K's encore song choices came as a surprise. Christmas is coming, so the band elected to finish with some of their favorite holiday tunes. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas had the crowd singing once again, but it was the participation on Oh Holy Night that was awe-inspiring. Without exception, everyone joined in, and with great sounding voices. It was like being in the middle of one of those flash mob Christmas choir videos you see at this time of year.
So
I've literally never seen one of those.
And you can't forgive me. You have to forgive me for thinking this article is 5 years younger, 5 years older than I thought it was, because they just referenced flash mobs.
A polite crowd, a great venue, and superb music. No one could have asked for more. Should we leave a reply?
Yeah, reply and say, I could have asked for more.
And that's all I've got this week.
Well, one thing that came up in searching this song on YouTube is that it is applied to Stephanie Smith's, not her official YouTube channel, but you know the way YouTube now categorizes music videos, not music videos, but videos that have music in them for the YouTube Music app.
Right.
It'll always say Relient K topic, or Blink-182 topic, or Beatles topic.
Yeah.
Under the Stephanie Smith topic channel was this song. So I guess, and I kind of listened close, and I'm like, there kind of sounds like there's a background vocal, or like a vocal that's kind of matched along with Matt Thiessen's that sounds feminine. I couldn't really tell. I mean, there are vocals that Matt Thiessen has done where he sounds feminine, like the Sadie Hawkins pod. Where's Sadie Hawkins pod? I did it again. The Sadie Hawkins dance 10th anniversary version.
Right.
Where he does that falsetto that literally sounds like a woman singing at first. So I guess Stephanie Smith must be doing backup vocals in this song. But I don't know. Unless we buy a copy of the physical copy of 'Tis the Gotee Christmas Time,
Right.
Volume 1, there's no confirmation of that I could find. So I did find a couple of live versions. There's one version live in Canton, which was very recent, with just Matt and someone on the drums. And there is this live big version from one of the big Christmas tours. Probably, well, let me see. I'll play this one first. This is definitely like circa 5 score or Forget and Not Slow Down. Let's see. This is uploaded by Kenneth Young 11 years ago. So yeah, this is like Forget and Not Slow Down times. And it's Oh Holy Night leading directly into I Celebrate the Day. And this is during that tour where they had all the Christmas decorations on the stage. So let's listen to this.
Us Relient K boys all that well, we have kind of a slight obsession with recording Christmas songs.
3 Christmas albums.
Called Let It Snow Baby,
Thank you for the comment, person
Great
standing.
Christmas albums.
Great Christmas
Agreed.
album.
It's got about 20 holiday songs.
Oh, I just remembered when I watched this video like 6 days ago. I did the research so early. Luckily, the guy standing by this camera does not sing through Oh Holy Night, so we'll get a relatively clean-sounding recording of Oh Holy Night. But as soon as they break into I Celebrate the Day, he immediately just starts singing, and he dominates the recording.
Wow.
On it. We're going to play a couple tonight. Just so all these inflatable things on the stage make some sort of sense. So, Christmas is actually a really cool time of year because, I mean, obviously, it's a lot of fun.
I'm actually surprised that they went from this into I Celebrate the Day when it's almost like part of the whole Silent Night Away in a Manger suite, because that's what I did my research on this week.
Right.
I was ready to talk about that.
Well, this was released specifically on December. This YouTube video was released, and it doesn't say what city it was recorded in. I feel like we've seen this specific Kenneth Young's YouTube channel before with other Relient K videos he's been to and uploaded. But it was uploaded on December 17th, 2008. So this is right, that must be Ethan on drums. I can't see because this camera is so far back.
Right.
But this is probably right after they recorded these 3 songs. So it kind of makes sense. Maybe they're just kind of plugging they just recorded these 3 and they want to put them in the set a little bit.
Sure.
Kind of change it up. It didn't stick with the history of the band. Like, it doesn't seem like they played them live much after this.
Well, they did in 2015 because that's when that article was written.
Jessica just reminded me, yes, they played it in 2015. But it didn't become like a live Christmas staple like some of their other songs. So here, I fast forwarded a minute, and we're actually getting into Oh Holy Night.
Not a rocker. This is not a to be played live song.
But
because they're
the
playing, but then you just hear so much in the audience.
Yeah.
Like, you just hear everyone shuffling and getting more drinks and stuff. Like,
right, but that's the idea. Like, hey, we're gonna calm it down. We're gonna chill out for a bit. So let's just hear the transition into I Celebrate the Day. Yeah. Matt Thiessen and that guy, or Relient K featuring that guy. So here's the 2015 version, I believe. This is more recent. Our neighbor's like, hey, shut up over there. No, this is 8 years ago. So I guess I don't have a 2015 version. So this is 2012. This is in that lead up to, we've seen this concert other times. I guess it was like a December Christmas homecoming show. And they played some collapsible lung songs for the first time at this show that we've done when we've done collapsible lung songs. And here's them playing Oh Holy Night in Canton in 2012. The crowd's loving it there. They're totally about it. They're like, we're ready to sing somber Christmas carols together with Relient K.
Did you know that you can't enjoy yourself?
I think that was a lie because it seemed like everyone was enjoying themselves that night. That Oh Holy Night. And of course, we have to talk about another version of this song that technically is Relient K. And that is the Woodland Forest episode.
Oh, yeah.
Which we keep forgetting. We want to do a whole series of Woodland Forest, probably Patreon episodes.
Right.
And maybe since we're almost done with the book, that'll be the next sort of thing we do. But yeah, the Woodland Forest episode, and these were all animated by John Warren. And I hadn't thought about it in a long time because I just kind of brushed over these Woodland Forest episodes when they were new. I didn't really watch them. I was like,
right.
Okay, which is what I did with a lot of Flash animation. Just kind of check it out for a minute. Like, okay, cool, whatever, but not actually sit there and watch it like a cartoon.
You didn't love Strong Bad? We're in a big
Strong Bad was one of the only, and Homestar Runners were one of the only exceptions where I would be ready for the next ones to come out. But this is the Oh Holy Nightmare episode of Woodland Forest. And I was playing this the other night when I was doing my research, and Jessica's like, "What are you playing?"
Long lay the world in sin and error high.
So to describe what's going on, if you haven't seen it, this is the Relient K Flash animation show.
It's pretty
that's
amazing.
From 13 years ago. And this is the Christmas special episode, and it's a deer standing in the middle of a Flash animation field. There's a tree with a face, which should more be like the Halloween EP.
Yeah.
And
is that the face on the tree
that
that something happened to
It's
Teason?
this deer singing so badly he ruined Halloween for him. So there's a bunny rabbit, there's a face in the tree. I think it's the Dave Douglas animated guy pops in behind them in a little bit and makes an like ugh kind of face because the deer sings so badly. And then slowly over the course of the cartoon, everything in the frame, all the critters, all the trees, all the bushes, they all start getting away from him because he's singing so badly. That's the joke. I love the instrumentation. I don't know where they got this, but it basically sounds like it's from a Chinese movie from the 80s. It sounds like a Chinese score from like a Hong Kong or a Chinese film, like a Police Story or something, or a early Chow Yun-fat movie. I'm going to skip ahead to where the deer is singing very badly.
Divine, oh night, when Christ was born.
The bunny runs away.
Yeah. Oh, I skipped out. I was trying to get...
This feels a little South Parky.
I guess it does with the high voice.
Visually.
Visually. Or is that the John Warren? Maybe. Oh, and then whichever member of the band was standing behind the tree blew up. It might have been the John Warren. I'd have to rewatch the first episodes to figure it out.
And he looked a little Beavis and Buttheady, whoever's back there.
You know, Christians were obsessed with South Park and like cleansing it in the early 2000s. I don't know if this plays any part of that, but I swear like Bunch of Believers, the ska band, like their whole aesthetic was like South Park inspired art. And I don't know why, but it always seemed like Christians were like always like trying to like use South Park. I did like, I don't know, youth groups and stuff would always try to like entice you, like,
about this
come,
before.
you know, come on. They'd be like, come to our youth group. We're like South Park, but cool and clean or whatever. It's like, is that really like the thing you use into like, you know how like a Sunday school will have
would that have drawn you in, Danny?
On the wall? No, it's stupid. It was just a fad that they were using as the thing to get kids interested in whatever in Jesus. in Christ. So that's the Oh Holy Nightmare Woodland Hills Woodland Forest version. There's a town called Woodland Hills in Los Angeles. Anyway, the main Relient K Twitter account popped up the other day because John Warren posted about this. We're going to talk about why in a second, but John Warren tweeted about this video again this year. And the main Relient K Twitter account was like, this ages like a fine wine. Like, they all just love it. They love how great it is. And
I have a question for David Park. Did you go to the bad Target, what we call the bad Target, which would be closest to both where you live and Danny and I live? Because he lives near us. Or did you go to a good Target that's further away?
Right.
Did you go to the bad one? Because they never have anything. You got to go to the Woodland Hills one, or... what is it, like North Van Nuys or something?
Yeah.
Just put a very precise
just
pin
we'll just
drop.
give everyone our
Sorry.
address. The wet bandits will show up. It's Christmas time.
Oh, no.
April's going to be setting traps to catch them.
Aw, that's adorable.
So
she did get a Home Alone bark box.
She did.
Yeah.
She's been chewing. That's right. She has the Wet Bandits little dog toys for Christmas.
It's adorable.
So this Woodland Forest episode was so popular in its time that not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different people all had to like do lip syncing videos to this version of the song.
Oh, wow.
So I'll just play you one of them so you get the basic gist of it. They're all a little cursed because we're talking about like, what is this, 2009,
Sure.
2008 webcams. So this one's uploaded by Carver.
I feel like
Oglander.
0809 is the peak of cursed videos.
Yeah. So this is from 2007. Earlier than I...
Oh, what?
So it's a guy wearing a Santa hat and his Sunday best in a very dark, creepy dungeon of death.
Is he holding a bong?
What? No, he's
What's in his hand?
a spoon covered in gaffer's tape or something
Oh, okay.
that he's pretending is a microphone. So people loved to lip sync to
He's
this
wearing
bad
an
version.
oversized blue shirt and a Santa hat. There's just a mattress on the floor. It's so creepy.
And plastic furniture. This is definitely a kind of video you could put on a creepypasta. Like my cousin's cousin found this link written on a bus stop and wrote it down, and when he went to it, he
The
saw
guy
this
doing the
cursed
razzle
video.
or whatever comes in the background. The rizzle.
And then he disappeared, and no one ever found him again. And then there's a person who recreated this for their church.
Oh, wow.
I guess to give everyone a nice laugh.
Oh,
So he's kind of a
goodness.
large guy, about my size. I hope that's a wig. It's like a very curly wig. Or
looks
he's
like
just
your
got
hair
really
right
curly...
now.
No, it doesn't.
It does a little
Very
bit.
curly hair and a goatee.
You're getting a haircut after we finish recording.
Okay. And he's just going around the church. He kind of looks like Mitch. Oh, what's his name? Not TV's Frank from Mystery Science Theater 3000, but the guy that predates
Oh, Elvis something.
Elvis Mitchell Weinstein,
There you go.
the comedian who was in just the early seasons of Mystery Science Theater.
He's
kinda
got
looks
this
like
guy's
him.
got a goatee because 'tis the season
Yeah.
to have a goatee.
And then he gets down on his knees and starts crying to the sky.
No one is enjoying this. There's no laughing.
No, there's
no
laughing.
applause.
You can't hear it over his screeching, but if you wear headphones, this podcast is best listened to with over-the-ear headphones. So there's that. And then someone reanimated it themselves as well, so that's cool.
Oh, wow.
But the reason why John Warren shared on Twitter, reminded everyone that Flash animation version existed, was because he just was featured in the Christian punk band Hangnail, who to me always were like Christian descendants, basically. I know you don't know them because they never played live by the time we met. You know what? Growing Up Punk just did a whole interview with them with this reunion that they did to put together basically put together a Christmas EP. They were a tooth and nail band. They were very like straight ahead descendants, like clean production punk sort of stuff. And they came back together this year and did a couple of new songs. They like broke up like in their early 20s. Like they started in high school and then they were done by their early 20s. They were like, this isn't, I guess they thought it wasn't growing fast enough, and they all kind of got that itch to like get real jobs and have families and stuff. So that's what I feel that's my summarization of their interview with Growing Up Punk, the podcast. So here is a little bit of Hangnail, since it's another Christian punk band and it's got John Warren. Here is Hangnail's version of Oh Holy Night.
All on your knees, oh hear the angel voices, oh night divine, oh night when Christ was born.
Now that's how you do a rockin' version of this song.
Well, obviously. So yeah, Hangnail and Shorthanded were always the two Christian tooth and nail bands that I thought like directly sounded like the Descendants, as opposed to MXPX, who are clearly super inspired by the Descendants, but still sound like MXPX. Like those two bands sound the most precisely like the Descendants. Anyway, all I have left is a whole bunch of other either Christian rock bands or secular sort of rock punk bands that kind of fit in the same lens as Relient K doing their versions of the song.
Nice.
And so the first one we have is Weezer.
Oh.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt it.
Unlike their covers of Africa, which I have to give to Relient K, I have to give A Holy Night to Weezer.
Okay.
Still not a huge fan of that rendition, but like it a little bit more than this Relient K version.
Yeah, I like this version pretty well. I love I already closed it by mistake, but I've always loved here it is. I've always been both compelled and repelled by the cover of Weezer's Christmas album because it looks the most generic. It basically looks like...
It looks like what you would see on a cup at a movie theater during the holiday season.
That's absolutely true. I was also going to say it's got the aesthetic of like a royalty-free stock image company.
Yes.
Like this is royalty and free, like, or it's like $1 for complete commercial use, like bare minimum aesthetic that they put together. And this is I think this came out the year like 2010 or something like that, because I feel like I listened to it the year we were married. Anyway.
Something about the design and the art looks a lot like we have a New Bev Christmas cup up there that I'm currently looking at, and like I feel like it has a similar feel to it.
Yeah. Well, then we have the other Christian band named after a car. This is Cutlass.
Oh.
Are you familiar with this band? The other thing I meant to ask you is if you're familiar with each band.
I am only familiar with this band through you. And yes, I'm familiar with Weezer from before you.
You've never heard of Weezer. Name one song. You've never heard of Weezer. You just named two. You named Africa anyway.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Name one Weezer song.
Buddy Holly.
Damn it. Okay. Here's Cutlass's version. I love it. Jessica
This is a holy night.
That's what we're doing.
Oh, wait.
See? It's a confusing...
I meant...
Did I do the wrong Weezer song? Now I'm so confused.
Now I'm confused.
It's so
Oh
easy.
my gosh.
It's so easy to mix these two songs up.
I don't even remember the last two songs now. I don't remember if you played Oh Holy Night or if you played Silent Night.
No, they were both definitely Holy Night.
Okay. This is Oh Holy Night as well, right?
I mean, I'm going to find out in the edit, but yeah, they're both Oh Holy Night. It's just the thing is, like, this is such a bare bones melody. When you take the bare bones of this melody, you can do almost anything with it, and all of these bands...
It sounds like all the Christmas songs.
It does sound like all the Christmas songs. So here's one that I have to do. This is a secular punk band, and I know you haven't heard of them, but also David Ketch loves them. And this is Pulley. How's that? How's a straight ahead punk version for you?
I'm tapping my toes.
I see that. It's really annoying. Please stop doing that. I'm just kidding. I love you. So, I haven't talked about this much, but the Happy Christmas comps from Tooth and Nail, like I loved the first two, and then I completely lost interest in them. I think Relient K is on the third one, which I might have bought. I think I Hate Christmas Parties might be on the third one, but I never really listened to that third Happy Christmas Tooth and Nail comp. They were more than just collecting Tooth and Nail bands. They like would specifically be like the alternative Christian bands all together in their one big Christmas collection for the year. So this was from Happy Christmas Volume 5, and this is not a band I'm familiar with. So tell me if you're familiar with them. This is Ivory Line.
Of course I know Ivory Line. I used to run their MySpace page.
Of course. Watch them not have been around since MySpace, because I don't know them. Oh, this is 10 years ago, so tail end?
Yeah.
Yeah, tail end of MySpace?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Ivory Line's version. What do you think of that?
That had like a little hair metal flair to those vocals.
I guess. Hold on, let me skip in a little bit. Go 2 minutes in.
In his name, all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of...
Yeah, I don't know. Is
Sure,
this like
I'd jam
crabcore?
out to this.
Yeah, is this crabcore?
I don't know what that means.
Specific kind of like Warped Tour metal-y punk music. I
Gotcha.
don't really know. That's why I'm asking. Is this crabcore? I'm gonna start in it. You know, like all those accounts of like, is this ska?
Right.
Or is this anime? I'm gonna start one. Is this crabcore? And then we have a whole bunch of other artists, and I think you've heard of a couple of these. Rend Collective has
Yep.
one.
Right on.
7 Day Jesus has one. Third Day, Newsboys. Let's see. Do you want to hear any of those versions? We also have Kevin Max.
You can play the Ren Collective one.
Okay, I'll do
I
that.
enjoy
But we
some
also
Ren
have
Collective.
Kevin Max of DC Talk.
Oh,
Not
okay.
the Gotee one, but the other the other one. And August Burns Red. Oh, and we have Christafari, which I haven't thought about in the longest time, but they're like the big Christian reggae band.
Wow.
And when I got into Christian ska, I got the Christafari version album that was out at the time. But I was like, this is okay. But I got more into the Israelites because they were first wave ska. So anyway, let's hear the Rend Collective for Jessica's request.
Truly, he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace.
What'd you say?
I said, okay, move on, next version.
You don't care for it?
No, it's fine. It's just they all start to sound the same after a little while.
Maybe we should put together a compilation called A Cajon Christmas. And any sort of like Rend Collective kind of worshipy band, all of the sort of post-folky worship bands that do a version of a Christmas song. We put them all together.
I thought you
do you
meant
think?
just "Oh Holy Night," like just
No.
the song "Oh Holy Night."
It
like
can be
9
any
times.
Christmas song, but it has to be a worship band
Sure.
that uses a cajon.
Sure.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that word right. Well, yeah, like I said, August Burns Red, Third Day, Newsboys. Does it feel like they're all even though they're all quite different, they all are starting to feel kind of samey. So we could end with Christafari.
What about NSYNC?
You opened your present early. I can't. You already found the NSYNC version. You even gave me a review of it earlier in the episode. Okay, you want to listen to NSYNC, the greatest Christian band of all time? Here's NSYNC with their version of Oh Holy Night.
I mean, it is the millennium, and everybody's talking about Jerusalem.
Oh, right. That's the weirdest lyric. Jessica had control of the radio the other day, and what's that song called?
Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy by NSYNC. It's like opens with it's the year 2000 and everyone's talking about Jerusalem. I'm like, what is going on?
Okay, first of all, it's Here It Comes Millennium, and everybody's talking about Jerusalem.
Yeah. I was like, what?
And then the rest of the song has nothing to do with
it has to do with
that.
being a space cowboy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I do not understand. And I'm like trying to like make this make sense in my head. I'm like, okay, someone's afraid of Y2K. And the tribulation is coming because it's almost the year 2000. So they're going to get on a spaceship and leave Earth until the tribulation ends instead of becoming born again. They're like, if I'm not on Earth while the Antichrist is in power, just up in space jamming out to my boy band music, then I'll be free of the whole conflict. What do you think? Is that what the song is about?
Danny did not want to take a space ride with a cowboy baby.
Sure I do. That was my Christmas present. I was hoping you knew. I've been dropping hints all year that all I want is to take a space ride with a space cowboy. All right, here's your NSYNC. Here they are. Here's these weirdos, these 5 stupid weirdos. One of them with his
Did you ever see them? I don't think it's on the soundtrack, but did you see the movie Space Cowboys with Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones?
No, I've never seen it, but I'm aware of it.
It was charming for its time.
Okay.
It was cute.
Is that what it's about? Is that what the song's about?
No.
Were Tommy Lee Jones?
It's just about, I don't really remember. It's just about a bunch of old men going into space.
Were they talking about Jerusalem?
I think don't they leave Tommy Lee Jones like on the moon or some other planet or something? I don't really remember what happens.
Is that why we haven't seen him?
He dies out there, I think.
Is that why we haven't seen him that much recently?
Yeah.
Because we used to see him in like every movie.
Yeah. It was around that time, like around that like early 2000s when he was in like everything.
Here's some more NSYNC. I get it. Copyright strike. You don't like it because you're dancing, but you didn't like it because it's auto-tuned.
No, I do like it. I said it's one of the only a cappella versions of anything I enjoy.
Well,
lovely,
wonderful.
I really feel in the mood now.
You feel in the mood for Christafari, because that's what we're ending on. We're ending on Christafari. Here we go. Jessica just made a face like, oh, okay.
Yeah, why didn't you introduce me to this sooner?
And listen. What is this? Is this 5 Iron Frenzy? I forgot. Who is this?
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
What do you think of that? You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Apparently you like that.
I was jamming.
We're going to become a Christafari podcast after this
yes.
podcast, after Sadie Hawkins' pod is over. Talking about something that culturally we really can't delve deeply into in an appropriate way.
Yeah.
They have merchandise sold directly off of their YouTube page. You want to get some of this?
Nice.
They have all these interesting designs. I guess they must have some sort of cultural meaning, but they look very Twin Peaks. I don't know.
They do.
They look very David Lynch-like.
Speaking of merchandise, I'm enjoying my tea out of a Sadie Hawkins pod mug that you can find now on TeePublic.
Yes. As our commercial said, even though it still mentions Halloween, it is also now Christmas. So if you need merchandise, go on over to our TeePublic store and pick up some Sadie Hawkins pod merchandise for the person that you either love or want to get even with.
Now, Dan, are you enjoying this song now more, less, or the same than you did before?
I didn't really enjoy this song to begin with.
Right.
So I'm technically enjoying it a little less.
Man, why are we always on the same page with this one? Because that's exactly what I was going to say.
I did like that one. I did like hearing Relient K play it live in those two versions that I found. That was cool. I feel like if I don't hear this song for a year and were to go to a Relient K concert, if we all got our Christmas wish and Relient K got back together and toured next year,
and COVID went away.
And COVID went away, I feel like if I heard Relient K play this, I'd be like, cool. But right now, I am so over the song of Holy Night.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Also, stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Gotten some reports in that some of you aren't feeling so good, and we want you guys to be healthy and safe.
Be healthy, be happy. Just like a wise man once said, be healthy, be happy. And that man was the Honey Nut Cheerios bee. Someone we should all look up to.
We just wasted 90 minutes of your life. Ho, ho, ho.